folded. So is that going to be a sign of things to come in the NFL? Is he going to face a good defense and not be able to play up to his abilities, what we've seen? Maybe that's why they've dropped him so much. But he still has 23 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. So I think the stats speak for themselves, and I think Caleb Williams still should have much higher odds for the Heisman.
Yeah, I agree. This is a major overreaction. I think he's being hindered by the fact that he won it last year, and his stats last year were way better now that he had the 3 picks. But it's a massive, massive overreaction. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Ben will be joined by one of our producers, Alex Brooks, here on WTOP 10.
La, 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 la. Free. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Free.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen and become briefly
Welcome back to Stick to Sports. Joining me now is Alex Brooks, one of our producers. Alex, what do you have for us tonight?
Thanks, Ben. Week 6 of the NFL season saw a lot of crazy storylines, including problems with the NFL turf. There have been multiple players that have struggled to stay healthy for a full season, and the turf conditions have came up into conversation regarding them. With guys like Garrett Wilson and Christian McCaffrey going down in Week 6, Ben, does the NFL have a problem they need to address with playing on turf?
I mean, this is a conversation they should be having year after year. I think it's even come to more of a head this season because of the amount of injuries within the first 6 weeks that have happened. Non-contact leg injuries. We talked a lot of hamstring. We saw Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill with the hamstring. We saw Trayvon Diggs in practice on turf. We've seen a ton of ACL injuries and hamstring injuries arise early in this season, and that has to be attributed to the turf. And I think stadiums are planning on changing to natural grass for the FIFA World Cup just a few years away. So why they aren't also considering it for their own teams is really confusing to me.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Ben, I want to go back to the Super Bowl when they had that artificial turf that was supposed to help the players, and that did anything but. Both the Eagles and Chiefs were slipping, and it wasn't really helping out. And a lot of players have wanted to have grass, and I think the NFL really needs to make a change. Staying on the gridiron, we saw the New York Jets defeat the Philadelphia Eagles 20-14 in a big defensive battle. With multiple players out on the secondary on both teams, the Jets defense forced 3 interceptions to clinch their first franchise win against the Eagles. Ben, with the Jets making Pat Mahomes and now Jalen Hurts look bad, are the Jets for real this season?
I mean, I was talking about it earlier with Brian. I really do think that the Jets are on the upswing. They're on the upswing right now. And we see Robert Saleh, the head coach of the Jets, he has a ton of confidence in this team, in this defense. And now while he's saying they played gauntlet quarterbacks and that they haven't gotten all wins, but we've embarrassed all of them, it's not 100% true. I like the confidence that he has, especially in his team, in this young team that is on the upswing, that needs that confidence boost. I think that's good of him to say, but if we're looking at it from a logic standpoint, from a past game standpoint, that's not entirely true, because we've seen them lose to the likes of Mac Jones, who now cannot get anything going on offense against other teams as well. So we're not 100% sure what's going on there in New England, but right now the Jets, they're looking really good, and I think that they could squeak into the playoffs.
Yeah, my thing is, Ben, quickly, the Jets' defense is for real. The offense, really not yet. We got to see what Zach Wilson can do against more competition. Exciting developments are happening as the 2028 Olympics will welcome 6 new sports to the worldwide competition. Sports such as baseball and softball will make their return, but flag football will make its debut in Los Angeles. Ben, will these additions create more hype for this big event?
You know, I think it will. I mean, we see the lineup of sports: baseball, softball, cricket, lacrosse, flag football, squash. So cricket being added, that's, of course, going to add a lot of hype, because cricket is a huge, huge sport around the world. It's not really tapped into here in the States, but around the world, cricket is huge. So that's already going to create a lot of hype just on a world level. But for baseball and flag football specifically, I think it would only create hype if MLB or NFL players or former NFL players were able to go in and play in these games. Unfortunately, the Olympics happen during the MLB season, and active NFL players probably won't want to play to risk a non-contact injury. So while it could create hype, and it probably is right now, it's still 5 years away. So there's not 100% certainty whether or not these will create the exact hype that they're hoping for.
Yeah, and I feel like if you have those players that are coming in, like old players coming, I think that'll make a lot of excitement. Also, the person who watches that specific sport is going to love these new sports coming in.
We're going to take a quick break here on Stick to Sports. Thanks once again to Alex for the fast break. And when we come back, Brian, Alex, and I will head into extra innings. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Stick to Sports on WTOP 10.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had to press the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen and can briefly
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
no.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up with that one.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Stick to Sports. Now let's get ready for everyone's favorite tradition at WTOP 10, extra innings. All right, we'll start off with the Ohio State Buckeyes versus Penn State. I'll have you go first, Brian.
Give me the Buckeyes. -4.5. Penn State's good. They're having a really good season, but Ohio State is, I think, just better. -4.5, that's less than a touchdown, so I think Ohio State easily covers.
No, I think Ohio State is really good, but I don't know how much I trust McCord at QB to face a really, really good team in Penn State. I think that the Nittany Lions will actually put up a really good fight, and I think they will actually win this one in a very close battle.
All right. Well, I am going to take the Ohio State Buckeyes just because they are favored, and I believe that they will win against Penn State. I'm picking with you, Brian. All right, so let's go over to the Alabama Crimson Tide versus the Tennessee Volunteers. I'll have you go, Ben.
You want me to start?
Yeah, you start this time.
All right, I'll start. I'm going to go with Alabama. Now, I have not loved what I've seen from the Crimson Tide so far this season, but in this matchup, I still feel like Alabama has the edge just based off of Nick Saban's coaching just expertise. I feel like he'll always just outcoach the other coach. So I'm going to take Alabama in this one.
Give me Tennessee. Alabama's good, but I don't trust Jalen Milroe. He seems to falter in those big games. Tennessee's offense is just so good. And I don't know if they'll win, but 8.5 I think is just too big for me.
I was buying into the Tennessee hype last year, and it didn't really go as planned. So I'm going to pick Alabama. I'm picking Alabama for this matchup.
Oh,
all right, let's move over to some NFL. An exciting matchup for many fans. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Detroit Lions. Ravens are favored, and I'll start with you, Brian.
I know the Ravens are home, but give me the Lions at Ravens -3. I don't even think the Ravens are going to win this game. Never mind get a field goal win. The Lions are playing so well this year. I think Jared Goff is going to rip that defense apart.
I'm going to have to agree there. I mean, the Lions, I was saying it before when we were talking about how they played this past week. I really, really like the Lions, and I think they're going to take this one as well.
Yeah, I feel like the Lions are very young right now, and everybody is really rooting for them. And I feel like this is going to be a good matchup, but I feel like the Lions will be able to take it. So we're all taking the Lions on this one. Let's go over to Sunday Night Football for next week. The Miami Dolphins, the red-hot Miami Dolphins, will face off against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. Ben, I'll have you start off.
I know who you're picking in this one, Alex, so I don't think we need to go to you on this one. But I'm going to take the Dolphins. I think their offense is so hot, and I think that even though the Eagles' defense is solid, I don't think they have enough weapons to stop the likes of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, Ben, I'm riding with you on this one. I don't think the Eagles are winning this one at all. Dolphins' offense seems practically unstoppable at this point. I don't think the Eagles' defense is going to play that well.
Disgusting. This is a bounce-back game for Philadelphia. They are going to win. Miami's not coming into Philadelphia and beating us. This is a bounce-back game. All right, that's off my chest. Eagles are going to win this game. But we'll go over to our last matchup. It's going to be the Buffalo Sabres versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'll have you start off, Brian.
Give me the Sabres. I think they're playing at home. Lightning haven't had the hardest start. I think this is the Sabres' first win of the season. Easy bounce-back game for them.
No, I'm going to go opposite you there, Brian. I'm going to go with the Lightning. The Lightning still have that core. They're aging, but they're still really good.
And I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Lightning on this one. So
we'll see. I mean, we're tied for last right now, so we'll have to see. Brian's
I took a one-game lead on you guys, so.
We'll have to see next week.
That's all the time we have on this episode of Stick to Sports. Be sure to tune in next Monday at 10:30 right here on WTOP 10.
Your department is trying to remind students about spring break safety.
Plus, students are being funded by a national government agency to collect data. Learn what the project is.
And find out when and where to get last-minute advice ahead of the big fair day.
This is Rise and Shine Oswego.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Mackenzie Shields.
And I'm Cameron Brown.
SUNY Oswego will be hosting drop-in hours with career services before the Career and Internship Fair later today. The drop-in hours will be a time for students to review their resumes and make last-minute edits before presenting them to employers.
The drop-in hours will be held in 145A in Shinneman from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., while the Career and Internship Fair will be next door in Sweatman Gym from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Virtual drop-in hours will also be available from 6 to 7:30 p.m. More information can be found at calendar.oswego.edu.
And SUNY Oswego is one of the select schools participating in NASA's Eclipse ballooning project. This is a national project that started during the 2017 Great American Eclipse. A combined team of students and faculty will launch balloons from the Sweatman Field on April 8th. These balloons collect data in the atmosphere to understand how eclipses affect it. Members of the public are invited to visit and participate in outreach activities from 11 to 3 on that day.
The Office of the Dean of Students will be hosting a wellness event called Keep It Safe Spring Break in Marano Campus Center later this evening. The event will be promoting a preventative safety measures and preparedness by giving attendees free Narcan training and other tips. There will be other activities such as an arts and crafts section, a photo booth, a drunk goggles obstacle course, and a couple of giveaways. The items being given away include t-shirts, a suitcase, Stanley water bottles, a JBL speaker, a massage gun, and more. The event will be in the MCC Activity Center from 6 to 8 p.m. tonight. Any questions can be sent to aodeducation@oswego.edu.
As Oswego finds itself in early spring weather, some golf clubs have reopened to embrace it. In Oswego, Stone Creek Golf Club's first 9 holes are open for $25, including a cart. You can play those same holes for $10 walking. Greenview Country Club in West Monroe is $10 for all you can play. And homelessness is up 400% in Oswego County, according to WSYR. This was discovered during the annual point-in-time count in February, according to Oswego County News Now.
10 people were found outside this year, where only 2 were found last year. There are over 50 people across Onondaga, Cayuga, and Oswego counties who are unsheltered.
The executive director of a social services organization in Oswego says that people may judge homeless individuals, but they should not be so quick to do so.
It's distressful to me in the sense of none of us want to see people on the street, right? It's a phenomena that I never saw when I was younger. And the outside world can judge and say, oh, just get a job or just do this. Well, I've learned now that I'm in here, it's not that easy. It's not that simple.
Of Temporary and Disability Assistance website for resources. Oneida County has been awarded $23.6 million to develop 332 acres into a premier semiconductor supply chain campus. The county received the largest grant out of 7 sites in New York State. The funding was awarded under the Focused Attraction of Shovel-Ready Tracks, New York's grant program. Some of the improvement will include electrical upgrades and extension, water and sewage extension, transportation and access upgrades, lighting and pedestrian infrastructure, natural gas extensions, and general site work.
A subpoena was issued to former New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo this Tuesday over his handling of nursing homes during the COVID-19 pandemic. In March 2020, Cuomo issued an order requiring New York nursing homes to admit or readmit residents who tested positive for COVID-19. The order has been blamed for thousands of COVID-related deaths in nursing homes. A report later released by New York Attorney General Letitia James suggested state officials failed to include nursing home-related deaths in its official COVID death count. This resulted in a potential undercount of as many as 50%.
The New York Police Department is enhancing bag checks on their subway system. Police are expected to deploy 94 bag check teams to 136 stations, though it is unclear which will be affected. This is in response to the increasing crime within the transit system. Governor Hochul met with NYPD and MTA and is expected to unveil legislation to support transport safety today.
And this morning seemed kind of rainy and cold compared to the last few days.
Oh, definitely. Let's take a first look at your forecast with Storm Team 10 meteorologist David Rienzo.
Thanks, guys. You know, today was pretty dreary, and we can expect some more dreary weather to come. We're seeing a lot of rain for the next few hours, for the next 24 hours, I should say, and colder temperatures behind this. We're also seeing some wet weather for this weekend, for the start of your break, so stick around to see how your travels could be impacted, as well as some snow possibly next week. I'll have more in my full forecast, but first, back to you guys.
Thank you, David.
Stay tuned to hear from the National Society of Black Engineers.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up with that one.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back.
Now, on to our guest.
Today we have a special guest from the National Society of Black Engineers who are making a comeback.
Welcome. How's it going?
Pretty good. Thank you guys for having me. My name is Dennis Molina, and I'm the president of the National Society of Black Engineers here at Oswego.
Lovely, that's awesome.
So, how are you making a comeback?
Oh, okay. Great question. So, originally we started off in 2019 with about 6 executive board members. 2020 happened, COVID, so we kind of died out, and then we made a comeback within the spring semester of 2023 where we had about maybe 8 executive members. Now we're up to about 11 executive members with a community of about 40 people. So it might seem relatively small in terms of numbers, but in terms of percentage, we've grown by like tenfold. So we're kind of just trying to build on that.
That's awesome. And could you tell us, what is the National Society of Black Engineers?
I would love to tell you about the National Society of Black Engineers. So we are a National Society of Black Engineers, basically. But we have chapters from the collegiate level to pre-collegiate level to professional levels. I really cannot overstate how big of a society it actually is. We have members within Apple, within Amazon, Google, Bank of America, Capital One, basically every major tech company that you can think of. But here at the collegiate level, we're pretty much just like a hub for students to come and like get some sort of mentorship or guidance. We do resume workshops, we do tutoring, and we go out to national conferences. So we're actually gearing up to go to the 50th annual NSBE convention happening in Atlanta, Georgia in the middle of this month. So pretty much our main goal is to just try and get kids through the door of the professional field.
So what are your goals for the organization?
That is another amazing question. So currently we are just trying to build the chapter up. Right now, as a chapter, we kind of have to go outside of Oswego in order for us to get any like sustainable networks or contacts. So we've been building up a lot. We're trying to connect with like the Syracuse chapters and chapters near us because we hope to kind of have events here within Oswego in the near future. I'm a senior, so I'm pretty much dead water. I'll be gone after this semester. But my biggest hope is that later on we could have events where people actually come to us, you know? Oswego is kind of small and really, really remote, and I really hope to see more faces coming to here instead of us having to leave.
And how does this help students grow in their future careers?
I love that question. That's a really, really good question. So we kind of just put students in the faces of actual professionals, you know. I think classes are really, really hard, but they're manageable. I think where a lot of students lack within the STEM fields is getting the actual context of how the field looks, you know. And what we try to do is push as many kids to as many conventions, as many events that are happening to try and get them to talk to people who've been in their shoes. So that's the biggest thing that I would say is what we focus on.
That's awesome. Well, we're out of time, but thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank
you to the National Society of Black Engineers for joining us. Still to come.
Find out which presidential candidate will be dropping from the race.
And David will be back with your full weather report.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30? Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up of that one.
Matthew, news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Oswego. I'm meteorologist David Rienzo. Now, right now over New York, we have this cold front over most of central New York, a little bit of the North County as well. This is what's bringing the rain and cold temperatures for today. Now, this is moving pretty slow because we also have a low off of the coast of the Atlantic, which is impeding the forward momentum of this cold front. So this rain is going to stick around for most of the day. As you'll notice, we have some drizzle, light rain throughout the entire day, with rain picking up in the afternoon around 6 p.m. Still nothing too heavy, just a steady rainfall. Fog in the morning right now is what you're seeing as you're on your way to classes. That should dissipate as the day continues. Now, temperatures are pretty much just going to drop from here as this cold front passes. Low tonight is going to be in the high to upper 30s. Now, this is going to correlate to a much colder morning tomorrow, as the temperature is going to be in the high 30s, which should pick up to 46 by tomorrow afternoon. Now, tomorrow we're also seeing a much sunnier sky after this cold front passes, thanks to the drier air from Quebec. Now, clouds are going to be pretty persistent in the morning, but those should clear out by the afternoon time, leaving a much sunnier sky for the start of your weekend. Now, you're noticing a very likely chance of rain, as I just said, and tomorrow and Friday are looking a lot drier than this weekend. We're seeing some pretty moderate rain on Saturday, with a slight chance of rain on Sunday continuing over from Saturday. Now, the rain on Saturday, there's a little bit of discrepancy between the models, on the when and the severity, but you can expect some rain by the afternoon on this weekend, on Saturday. Looking at your 7-day forecast, you've got the rain today, tomorrow. Friday and Saturday are looking pretty warm considerably for this time of month. Early March is a little early to see some 50 degrees. So temperatures are going to cool down a little bit after this cold front passes, but still considerably warmer for how you'd normally expect at this time of year. We're also seeing some rain for this weekend, and even the slight chance of snow on Monday, where this cold front will pass, and you're not going to see too much, but it's just going to be a little bit unusual for this time of year, where there's been a lot less snow than normal. So expect a little bit of traffic this weekend as people are heading out to break, and the snow will impede travels. That is all for my full forecast. Back to the break.
Thank you, David. Nikki Haley is exiting the Republican presidential race following a series of losses in the GOP nominating contest Tuesday. Haley won primary races in 2 states, Vermont and Washington, D.C. She is the first Republican woman to do so. She was one of the last 12 major candidates attempting to challenge Donald Trump for the nomination, but did not gain enough traction.
Calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, protesters interrupted Democratic Representative Adam Schiff's victory speech last night. Schiff was attempting to claim his victory in the primary election for Dianne Feinstein's former Senate seat. Protesters in the crowd proclaimed "Let Gaza live" and "Ceasefire now" almost as soon as the speech began. Tensions rose as Schiff's supporters confronted the protesters. This incident exemplifies the criticism that many Democratic candidates are facing surrounding their position on the Israel-Palestine conflict. And many families struggle with natural conception and turn to in vitro fertilization. However, IVF work has been halted in Alabama following an Alabama Supreme Court ruling.
Today, state lawmakers will be voting to change the ruling, and IVF work could resume as early as tomorrow or Friday. Amy Cayley reports.
Legislation that would restart in vitro fertilization in Alabama could become law by tonight or tomorrow. The state House and Senate are poised for votes today. They're in response to a state Supreme Court ruling last month calling a frozen embryo a child. Lawmakers say they want to create a shield from legal liability.
Patients need to have the same protection as the doctors and the providers, and that's what we're trying to do.
Alabama Governor Kay Ivey says she expects passage and will sign the legislation. In the meantime, clinics say they're on hold because they fear civil and criminal penalties.
It's so incredibly unfortunate because it really leaves these patients in a very bad spot.
At least 2 clinics say they're eager to resume treatments, and some families already have their frozen embryos.
As it stands, we don't have a choice on if we want to use that or not. We're kind of locked out of that decision right now.
The reality is, without doing another embryo transfer, without doing IVF, without having access to it, like, my journey ends.
Some critics say the legislation should go further. They want to address the court's declaration that an embryo is a child.
Can I take this embryo off income tax? Can I apply for school choice?
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And in international news, the Philippines Coast Guard accuses Chinese vessels of, quote, dangerous maneuvers, causing obstruction by deploying water cannons yesterday. In a statement shared on X, the National Task Force for the West Philippine Sea said one vessel from the Chinese Coast Guard caused a minor collision, resulting in superficial structural damage to the Philippine Coast Guard vessel. Water cannons shattered a windshield and caused minor injuries to at least 4 people on board the Philippine supply boat. China's Coast Guard says the waters were illegally intruded and the boat ignored repeated warnings.
This next story may sound a little bit cheesy, and it is. The World Championship Cheese Contest is throwing their winner this Thursday. The competition kicked off this Tuesday in Madison, Wisconsin. A group of international judges will evaluate more than 3,300 cheese, butter, yogurt, and dry dairy products until this Thursday. This championship is held every other year since 1957. The public is invited to stop by and watch the evaluations be taken place, as well as try some samples.
And coming up is our entertainment reporter, Jolie Santiago. Hear about how Barbie is celebrating its 65th anniversary.
And how Swifties are rallying together to help a bride-to-be.
And let's take a look at what's on the menu today. Breakfast at Pathfinder includes breakfast sandwich on a bagel with strawberry banana smoothie.
Lunch and dinner at Lakeside is classic chicken curry and chimichurri flank steak.
And late night at Cooper is Wing Wednesday with edible cookie dough as a sweet treat. We'll be right back after this.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel too. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTLP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTLP.
La 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 la. Free. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
Welcome back to Entertainment. I'm Jolie Santiago, and I'm your entertainment anchor for today. Get ready to groove because San Jose Taiko will blow your mind tonight. Picture this, a fusion of traditional ancient Japanese drumming meets modern-day creativity. With a mission to spread love for Taiko, they are hitting the stage here at the Tyler Hall at 7 p.m. This band hits over 75,000 hearts annually. As usual, this performance is free for students, so get ready to feel the pulse with San Jose Taiko, and remember, they are not just drummers, but cultural rock stars. The Dartmouth College men's basketball team made history on Tuesday by becoming the first college athletes to vote to join a labor union. The vote would have the players join the ranks of the Service Employees International Union, which already represents about 500 employees working across Dartmouth's campus. All of this is coming after the National Labor Regulations Board officially recognized the student athletes on the team as employees of the school, a classification Dartmouth and NCAA have pushed back against. Unlike many other Division I programs, Dartmouth does not offer full athletic scholarships. The president of the local union is celebrating the vote, saying men's basketball players at Dartmouth are treated differently than typical students because of their demanding schedules. Yeah, I don't know about that demanding schedule exactly, but I kind of would be scared to be an athlete there, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, on to Barbie. Barbie has announced a move to honor 8 women who have made an impact worldwide. The iconic doll will celebrate its 65th anniversary this Friday, just one day after International Women's Day is celebrated all over the globe. This year, Barbie announced it will honor 8 women who are shaping the future through inspiring stories. The 8 women being honored are Viola Davis, Helen Mirren, Mira Gomez, Nicola Fuda, and many more. Actor Jack Black has revealed his all-time favorite co-star. He told Entertainment Tonight it was Kate Winslet. The two starred in the 2006 rom-com The Holiday. Black said Winslet immediately came to mind when he was asked about his favorite co-star because when he looked into her eyes, she was present. That's an interesting word. Black is currently starring in the Kung Fu Panda 4. The movie debuts in theaters on March 8th, and Black says playing Po the Panda has been, quote, the role of a lifetime. Have you guys watched any of the Kung Fu Panda movies?
It was my favorite as a kid.
Love that. Nice, awesome. So yeah, when one Tampa, Florida area woman started planning her wedding, she realized she needed money. As Leslie Lacey reports, she owned the thing of value.
Named Swiftie, Emily Harris, decided to do just that and sell her most coveted treasure for wedding money, her signed guitar by none other than Taylor Swift.
It's hard to see in some of the lighting, but there's other little hearts right here and there and another one there that you can tell are the exact same as like this. So when she signed it, she must have put these other hearts on there after as well.
Harris, now 30, says it was a sweet 16 present from her father.
I pulled this out and I was like, oh my God, it's so pretty. And then realized it was signed and then looked at it and I was like, is this what I think it is? And he's like, yeah, it is. And tears. It was just immediate tears.
But her father, understanding wedding costs, supported her decision. He went on a Swiftie Facebook page to ask for tips on how to sell the guitar. But the Swifties insisted she keep it. They asked Harris to create a GoFundMe page so they could donate to her wedding and she could keep the guitar.
The Swifties jumped into action about it.
How did that make you feel when you saw people saying, you know what, let's try to do something else?
I definitely cried a couple times because it's just, you know, it's one of those moments where it's the reminders that there's good in this world. There are people that are just true, genuine, good people.
As of Monday, Emily's GoFundMe earned $1,600 from 52 donors. What a story. Very nice. Which of all these stories that I just said, though, Mackenzie, was your favorite?
I mean, I'm personally a Jack Black fan. I've loved him forever. He's hysterical, so I love hearing who he also loves.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, that's my report. Back to you guys. Yeah.
Well, WTOP has been following ice hockey since its inception. This season was no exception.
Well, 2 seniors on the men's ice hockey team signed to professional hockey leagues.
Shane Bull and AJ Ryan are 2 of the seniors who have recently signed. Bull to Adirondack Thunder of the ECHL and Ryan to Birmingham Bulls of the CPHL.
Wow, that's some great news. Yeah, we hope to continue watching these forever Lakers, and I'm sure more Lakers will sign as we wrap up this senior year, but also more seasons to go. So.
And to watch more of our news, sports, and original productions, go to our YouTube page.
We are on the YouTube at WTOP 10 TV.
So, what did we think about?
So that's our report for this morning. We'll be right back tonight for WTOP 10 Nightly News.
From all of us here at Rise and Shine Oswego, thank you for watching and have a great day.
Sorry, I did forget.
With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
Welcome back to Major Discussions. I'm your host, Vega Khaturetsky. I'm here with my co-host, Melinda Brancato.
And today is the season 4 finale of Major Discussions. We're so excited!
So far, for every season finale, we've had another one of our original production pals come onto the show. First, it was Madcaps with Chris and Jeff. Then we had Brian from Laker Connections and Jacob from Sports Talk on the show to get an inside look of the feud between the shows. And most recently, we had Chloe and Anna from The Kinda Late Show.
Today, you'll notice that it's just us. And there's a reason for that. Faye, if you will please make your announcement.
Well, that was very